Imagine a world untouched by human hands, a world that existed over 2 million years ago, a time when the Earth was a vast wilderness teeming with wildlife and untouched by the hallmarks of civilization. This is where our story begins, in this ancient world, with the dawn of man. Our earliest known ancestor, known to us as Homo habilis, steps into the scene. These early humans, with their ape-like features and upright posture, marked a significant shift in the evolution of life on Earth. They were distinct, not just in their physical appearance, but in their behavior as well. Homo habilis were the first of our ancestors to use tools, a trait that would come to define us as a species. These tools, simple and crude as they were a game changer. They were used for a variety of tasks, from scavenging for food to crafting rudimentary shelters. This marked the beginning of a profound shift in the way our ancestors interacted with the world around them. They were no longer just passive inhabitants of the Earth. They were now active participants, shaping the environment to suit their needs. Homo habilis didn't just use tools, they made them. They took stones and with careful precision chipped away at them to create sharp edges. This was no small feat. It required a level of cognitive ability and manual dexterity that was unheard of in other species. This ability to manipulate the environment to create tools set the stage for everything that was to come. The era of Homo habilis is significant for another reason. It marks the beginning of what we now call human history. Before this, our story was one of biological evolution. But with the dawn of man, a new chapter began. A chapter defined not just by our biology, but by our culture, our technology, and our ideas. This was the beginning of man's journey, a journey that would span millions of years and forever change the face of the Earth. Fast forward to a time when man began to build, to create, to establish the first great civilizations. Picture this, a world where humans, for the first time, are not merely surviving, but thriving, innovating, and leaving their indelible marks on the landscape of history. Our journey begins in Mesopotamia, often referred to as the cradle of civilization. Here, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, humanity first learned to harness the power of agriculture. This led to the establishment of city-states, each with their own distinct culture, but all contributing to a rich tapestry of societal evolution. In the fertile Nile Valley, the civilization of ancient Egypt emerged. Known for their monumental architecture, these early builders gave us the pyramids, a testament to human innovation and ambition. They also developed a hierarchical society with the pharaoh at the top, demonstrating the complexity of their social structures. Meanwhile, in the Indus Valley, another civilization was rising. Known for their urban planning, the people of the Indus Valley built cities with remarkable precision. Streets were laid out in a grid pattern, and houses were equipped with sophisticated drainage systems. This level of organization speaks volumes about their understanding of community living and public health. In these early societies, the development of writing systems was a crucial step. In Mesopotamia, they used cuneiform, in Egypt, hieroglyphics. In the Indus Valley, a script that remains undeciphered to this day. These early forms of writing allowed for the recording of history, laws, and even poetry, forever changing the course of human communication. These ancient civilizations, each unique yet interconnected in their contributions, laid the foundation for all that was to come. They developed the building blocks of society: agriculture, architecture, writing, and complex social structures. Their innovations and discoveries continue to influence our world millennia later. These ancient civilizations laid the groundwork for society as we know it today. Imagine a world where vast oceans and unknown lands were still waiting to be discovered. This was the reality during the Age of Discovery, a pivotal era that spanned the 15th through the 17th centuries. This was a time of unprecedented exploration when bold adventurers set sail into the unknown, driven by a thirst for knowledge, wealth, and power. At the forefront of these explorers was Christopher Columbus, a name synonymous with discovery. An Italian navigator sponsored by the Spanish monarchy, Columbus embarked on a daring voyage in 1492, believing he could reach Asia by sailing westward. Instead, he stumbled upon the Americas, a new world unknown to Europeans. His discovery changed the course of history, paving the way for subsequent explorations and the eventual colonization of the Americas. Meanwhile, on the other side of the globe, another intrepid explorer was making his own mark on history. Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer, was the first person to lead an expedition that circumnavigated the globe. His voyage, which began in 1519, was fraught with peril and uncertainty. But it ultimately proved that the world was indeed round, a fact that was still a subject of debate at the time. The Age of Discovery was not just about the discovery of new lands, though. It was also a time of cultural, scientific, and economic expansion. The explorers brought back not only tales of distant lands and strange creatures, but also new goods like spices, gold, and exotic plants. These discoveries sparked a global trade boom and fostered cultural exchange between the old and new worlds. But the impact of the Age of Discovery was not without its dark side. The exploration and colonization of new lands often led to the exploitation and decimation of indigenous populations, a tragic legacy that still resonates today. The Age of Discovery was a time of exploration and expansion, opening up the world in ways that had never before been possible. It was an era that redefined our understanding of the world and set the stage for the interconnected global society we live in today. Picture a time when the world was on the cusp of a new era, an era that would change the way we live forever. Imagine a world before machines, where everything was made by hand. This was the world before the Industrial Revolution. But then during the mid-18th century, things began to change. The world was about to enter a new age, an age of machines and industry. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain and rapidly spread across the world. It was a time of great innovation and change. It marked a shift from an agrarian handcraft economy to one dominated by industry and machine manufacturing. At the heart of this revolution was the invention of the steam engine. This remarkable invention, first developed by Thomas Newcomen and later improved by James Watt, made it possible to power machines with steam. This allowed for the creation of larger and more efficient factories. Factories began to spring up across the country, producing goods at a rate never seen before. These factories needed workers, and so people moved from the countryside to the cities in search of work. This led to the growth of cities and a shift in the social structure. The Industrial Revolution had a profound impact on society. It changed the way people worked, lived, and interacted with each other. It led to the creation of new classes of people. The industrial middle class, made up of factory owners and businessmen, and the industrial working class, made up of factory workers. But it wasn't all positive. The Industrial Revolution also brought about terrible working conditions, child labor, and environmental pollution. These issues led to calls for reform and ultimately to the development of labor laws and environmental regulations. Despite these challenges, the Industrial Revolution was a time of great progress. It transformed the world, paving the way for further technological advancements and the modern world as we know it today. The Industrial Revolution was a time of great change, propelling us into the modern world. Now let's travel to a time closer to our own, a time when technology began to reshape our world. In the mid-20th century, a new era dawned, one that would forever alter the course of human history. This was the advent of the digital age, a time defined by the fusion of technology and information. At the heart of this transformation was the invention of the computer. These machines, once the size of entire rooms and accessible only to a select few, have now become an integral part of our daily lives. But what truly propelled us into the digital age was not just the computer, but the creation of the internet. Conceived as a way to connect computers and share information, the internet has grown into a global network that connects billions of people and devices. It has transformed the way we communicate, learn, work, and play. It's hard to imagine a world without it now, isn't it? The impact of the digital age on society has been profound. It has democratized access to information, breaking down barriers and opening up new avenues for knowledge and understanding. It has enabled new forms of communication, fostering global connections and communities. It has also sparked unprecedented economic growth, creating new industries and job opportunities. Yet, like any era in history, the digital age has also brought challenges. Questions about privacy, security, and the digital divide have emerged. The rapid pace of technological change has left some people and places struggling to keep up. But these are the growing pains of a new era, and as we've seen throughout history, mankind has a knack for adapting and overcoming. The digital age has revolutionized the way we live, work, and connect with each other, marking a new chapter in human history. As we continue to innovate and push the boundaries of what is possible, who knows what the next chapter will bring? One thing is certain, the digital age is just the beginning.